Hello, I am Anastasia in Dominican Republic from Colombia. Clearing my doubts. Today's promise. Don't be one who shakes hands in pledge or puts up security for debts. If you lack the means to pay, your very bed will be snatched from under you. Proverbs 22 verses 26 to 27. Last week, I had a conversation with my husband in which he told me that he admires his grandfather because he was a generous man. He said that his grandfather set the bar so high, and he thinks that none of his children and grandchildren have given everything that his grandfather did. I replied that he could start giving if he wanted, but he said no. I kept silent and thought I must tithe for him since we are one flesh. We need protection. I asked my heavenly husband, and then I shared my situation with an old woman to seek wisdom with me about it. She didn't have a similar testimony, although we both remember Lotta's testimony about the tithe of her family's income. In her case, her husband asked her to manage the money in their house. In my case, my husband managed the finances. He just gave me the freedom to use my income however I wanted. I thought that if I tithe for him with my income, I wouldn't have the possibility to bless my family members and give more. Since he guides me sometimes, I had many doubts. I was not sure if it came from him or not. Payday came and I only paid my tithing, but I didn't pay my husband's because I didn't have confirmation from him. So I waited and didn't touch the money. Then I asked him again about it. I was doubting and nervous. I like to be sure, and sometimes I am a little bit impatient. But when I relaxed my mind and paused my thoughts, I was able to listen to his voice, and he said with his gentle voice, "Surety." So I remembered Proverbs and went to my Bible and found 4 similar verses about surety. One of these says, "My son, if you have become surety, guaranteed a debt or obligation for your neighbor, if you have given your pledge for the debt of a stranger or another outside your family." Proverbs 6 verse 1. I care about the word friend, and that word is the same that the Bible uses for the relationship of spouses. So it applies to the relationship of spouses. Finally, he told me, if one of the spouses is an unbeliever, the same principles still hold. The husband, as the head of the family, bears the final responsibility for decisions regarding giving. Subjection to God's order will bring a blessing and the grace to remain in faith. God has a way of doing things, and we can confidently stand still and watch without taking it upon ourselves to correct what we see as wrong. In 1 Samuel, we find this timeless principle. But Samuel replied, "Does the Lord delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as much as in obeying the Lord? To obey is better than sacrifice, and to heed is better than the fat of rams." This answer gave me peace. I understood that my role as a wife is not to be the savior of the home, but to be saved. It is not my duty to assume responsibility for protecting finances because that area is the responsibility of my husband, not mine, and he has not instructed me to take care of the finances, so my duty is to obey my husband. I praise my beloved for giving me understanding of this and clearing my doubts. I understood that this didn't come from him, but that it was a burden that the enemy wanted to put on me, taking me to the extreme of giving excessively, by giving for others and assuming their debts, which is not something that he wants for me. I thank you for giving me light and wisdom. Don't be one who shakes hands in pledge or puts up security for debts. If you lack the means to pay, your very bed will be snatched from under you. Proverbs 22 verses 26 to 27.